Should you draft Puka Nacua in fantasy football this year? Let's talk about it. Puka's a bit of a hot commodity right now, going as the 8th player overall and the 5th wide receiver off the board. Although I guess it makes sense that people would want to get in on it, since if you're paying attention to this man at all this offseason, you would have heard that he wants to retire by the age of 30, so we got to get in on him while we can. Good news is, Puka's a really good player to have on your team this year. Last year, Puka struggled with injuries a little bit, and that unfortunately derailed a large part of his season. He only played 12 games, but in those 12 games, he was great. He was knocking it out of the park great. He and Stafford have a connection that might be better than the Joe Burrow-Jamar Chase connection. Honestly, in every single game, he had at least 8 targets, and he had 4 of his 12 games with 10-plus targets. Now, I do know the Rams added Davante Adams this year. And Davante Adams, he might be a little washed, but he's not that washed. He's definitely not Cooper Kupp last year washed, so he's going to put up a little bit of target competition for Puka. But Puka's just good, and he and Stafford are good. And McVay has already said that this offseason that he wants the Rams' passing game to improve. And Davante Adams is going to help with that. And, Puka's going to be a big part of that, regardless of how involved Davante is. Because he is McVay's guy. He was drafted there. He's shown that he's incredibly talented, and he's going to continue to be involved in this offense. There's also a great Puka's one of the best candidates this year for positive touchdown regression, because he only had 3 touchdowns in 12 games last year. If he has more touchdowns, even if he loses receptions and yards to Adams, he could make those points back through touchdowns, and I think that makes him incredibly valuable. I would really think the Rams are going to start maybe pivoting away from the run this year, since Kyren Williams showed a step back in efficiency last year and tackle-breaking metrics, and I think that they could really start leaning on both Puka and Adams more, and Stafford, if he shows even a little bit of a jump from where he was last year, a little bit back to form, a little more than 20 touchdowns, I think Puka and Adams could both be really good fantasy assets. I love Puka where he is. I have him as my 4th wide receiver. I have him above Amon-Ra St. Brown, but behind Chase, Jefferson, and Lamb, but I think that he's a really good target, and you should be drafting him whenever you can.